Hey folks, and welcome to another Blue Player playthrough of a Kickstarter game. Now today we're going to be taking a look at Imperius. Now this is not a game that plays solo out of the box. We're going to make a few modifications to make the game work that way so you can see how it plays. What I have here is set up for a 3-player game. I'm going to run you through how the game plays a little bit, and then we're going to dive in with me also telling you how we're going to be controlling the other two houses. So in this game, which is a drafting and area control game, we're going to be one of these houses trying to vie for control of the universe. Each of these houses has a set of cards assigned to it, but instead of getting those cards at the beginning of the game, all of those get dealt into this particular this deck of cards along with some event cards and then shuffled up. Those will then be passed out to the players and then drafted. Then we're going to be playing those to the planets, trying to take control of those planets and score victory points. Now we have a fourth faction, so I'm going to use their cards just to explain to you what the different cards are in the game. We're going to have cards such as the Ambassador, which means if it's played to a thing and played to a planet and it has the highest influence, then it's going to score 4 victory points. We're going to have a Commander, who if you have the most strength on the planet, you're going to score a victory point and get to place one of your control tokens out. We're going to have Nobles, who only one noble can score, and a tie is broken by influence, and they will allow us to score the victory point value of the planet. However, we have assassins, which can take out nobles. We have royal guards that can protect nobles. And then we're going to have elders, which, depending on if you're playing advanced or not, could just add values or could have their own abilities as well. Such as this one here, the Elder of Trade. When deployed by this faction, the Quells, you score 1 victory point for each control token that's on the planet that's from another faction. So those will be in the game, and then we'll also have some event cards. Those event cards will explain as they happen. Now, because of the fact that this is a multiplayer game that I'm going to be running through solo, I've made a couple modifications to control these two houses. What we're going to do is we're going to assign 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 to each of the planets. And on an odd number, we're going to put the card face down. On an even number, we're going to put the card face up. However, each planet can only have up to 2 cards face down and a maximum of 5. So if it's already 2 face down, then we'll have to do it face up. And we'll make decisions along the way that make sense. For my house, which I'm going to be playing as this house here, instead of the typically blue, I'm going with this one. I kind of liked it. I'm going to control mine myself. In addition, you notice that I said something about assassinating and protecting. That's going to cause casualties, and that's going to be negative victory points at the end of the game. Over here, we have the score track, and this is going to continue to build scores until a player has got 20 or more points, at which point we're going to finish out a round and then do a final scoring. We're also playing with an advanced planet in the game, which will have something on it, and this one says that we do not resolve events deployed on this planet. So any events in this line will not resolve. The rest of the rules I'll kind of take you through as we move through the game. Today we're going to be playing with House Drakai, House Zathmir, House Ashenon, which will be my house. The planets that we're going to be fighting over are going to be Gaduhem, Virid, and Wujen. So what's going to happen at the beginning of the game is each player is going to get dealt a hand of 5 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And I'm going to give each house their hand of cards. And then we're going to draft cards. Now for the draft, what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to select my card, and then I'm going to just randomly take a card from each of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my hand of cards here. And I see that in my hand, I currently have 3 cards belonging to House Drakai. Actually, I have 4 cards belonging to House Drakai. And I have a ambush event. So nothing of my own. So not real good start. So I could take their Royal Guard to keep them from being able to protect themselves. I could take their Noble and hope that I get my Assassin. Or I could possibly take this ambush. This ambush says that whoever has the most strength on this planet may assassinate another card on the planet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the Royal Guard and stop them from being able to protect themselves. So the rest of these cards are going to pass to House Drakai. But real quick, we're going to take one card from the top and shift down. Now, coming back to me again, this time I have 3 belonging to House Zathmir, and I have my Noble. I'm just going to go ahead and take my Noble right off the bat. We're going to go ahead and move over, shift down, and try again. This time I have my Elder. I have a planetary siege, which means nobles cannot score on that planet, and I have the assassin from House Drakai. I do kind of like the idea of taking their assassin, but I also like the idea of taking my Elder. I don't have my protection, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my Elder. So we'll flip 2 cards here. We'll move down. And now what's going to happen is this is going to be the last card that we're going to take this round. So we're back to these. I'm going to take his Noble, and we will move these over. And then the 3 cards that are left over, we'll shift their hands. The 3 cards that are left over are going to be shuffled up and played face up to each of the planets. And that's going to start out everything. Okay, so now in player order, we're going to go ahead and play cards. Now real quick, I'm going to shuffle up each of their decks. So we don't have any idea. Didn't have any idea, but just in case I was counting the way things went, I wasn't. Okay, so we're going to start with House Drakai, and as I said, we're going to roll the die. We get a 1, that means we're going to play a face down to Godot Hem. House Zathmir is going to get a 3. It's going to play face down here to Virid. And then it's going to be me. Now looking over my hand of cards here, I could try to place my Noble out and maybe try to deal with this. Well, no, because Nobles cannot score on this planet. I don't know where their assassins are. I think this one's the least likely to have events played on it, but it is only 3 points. I think I'm going to play my Elder here, face down. All right, so we'll do House Drakai. They get a 6, which means face up over here. That is their assassin. Well, no one's going to probably play nobles there. So we'll do House Zathmir, who gets a 3. Can't go face down here, so they'll have to go face up, which means I definitely now need to get my character there. That's going to be his Noble. I am going to play my Noble here face up. Do House Drakai, they get a 2. That will go face up here. There's their ambassador. House Zathmir gets a 3, which we can't do. So we'll roll again. They get a 1, so they'll go face down here. Fortunately, I saw that, but it's fine. And then my last card, well, not my last card, but second to last, I'm going to play his Noble face down here because they can't happen. This one either will go in one of these 2. We'll do a 4. We'll split it. We'll put it over here. Face. Yeah, wait, that won't work. I'll re-roll it. They get a 2, so that'll go face up here. That means this one's going to go face up or down. We'll say odd, face down, even. So it'll go face up. And then I will have to play my last card here, so it really doesn't matter. I will put it there. Okay, so now what's going to happen is we're going to flip over the cards that were face down. And then we're going to order them from lowest to highest because we're going to then resolve them in this order. So I'm going to move, let's see, we have 0, 4, 6, 10, 14. So that's going to be that line. Here we have zeros, so they'll shift up. 4, 7, 7, so they'll stay like that. We have a 0, shift these up. 6 and 7. So that's going to be our lines. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to resolve them. So start here. We have an Elder of Treachery who has no effect on him. we have an ambassador. If they have the highest influence, they'll score 3 victory points. Well, they have 2, 5. They have 5. They have the most. So that means that House Drakai will score 3 victory points. Then we come here to an assassin. And this assassin can assassinate a noble, but there are no nobles, so nothing happens. The commander, if they have the highest strength on the planet, they'll score a victory point. And currently they have 2 and they have 2, so they tie. And in this game, ties are very unfriendly in that nothing happens. So that is canceled out. And then we have this hidden base, but we do not resolve events on this planet. So that will take care of Gadu Hem. Looking here, highest strength on this planet may assassinate another card. Well, highest strength goes to me, so I am going to get to assassinate someone. And I am going to assassinate this ambassador. In doing so, I'm going to cause a casualty to House Zathmir. So they will move over by 1, and that card is discarded. Coming here to this noble, if they have the highest, well, they have 1, and I have 4. So they're going to get nothing. Hence the reason I threw them out. Of course, I think I still had it anyway. And then my noble will score the victory point. So I will score 4 victory points for being there. That's going to finish out Virid. Now we're going to do Wuzhen. Nobles cannot score. Well, there are well, there is a noble, so that's good for us. Royal Guard here will be able to allow the blue player to protect, but it has nothing. Same thing here. The assassin, he could assassinate another noble, but there is nothing, so nothing happens here. And then this noble can't score because of this card. So nothing is scored on that planet. So that's going to end the round. So we're going to go ahead and pick up all of these cards. Going to shift the first player down. We're going to take all of the cards that we had, and we're going to shuffle them up. Now, while I'm shuffling those, I will mention that there are some cards in this game that have to be placed face up. There's some events and some elders. For the purposes of this demonstration, I specifically did not put any of them in the deck. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and deal out the cards again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. That will be the hands. And we will go through another draft phase. Now, as we move further and further along in this game, I'm not going to make all of my decisions known, but we'll still do it for now. So, looking through here, I have my Royal Guard. I have a stalled negotiations. I have House Zathmir's Royal Guard and House Zathmir's Assassin. I think I'm going to take his Assassin out of his hands. So, we will move 1 card over for them. Flip this down. You notice I didn't shuffle this time, but that's okay. Oh, wait, we'll shuffle at the end. So my next phase here, I have my Assassin. Ooh, I think I'm just going to take my Assassin. And then, I kind of liked that Planetary Siege. It really did help us last time. I think I'm going to take it again. Down, and then this will be another card. I don't have my noble, and I wish I did. So there's always a chance that my noble is still in here. This is his protect, but I have his assassin, so that's not really helpful, other than for strength purposes. I think I'm going to take this one and see what happens. Probably not the best move, but hey. So that will be my last card. We'll move these over, take these 3 here. We will shuffle up their cards into a new order. Nobody got to place a control token last time. We'll shuffle these around, and we will place them face up. His Royal Guard. We have Drakai's Assassin, and we have Drakai's Commander. So Drakai's in the best position, it looks like. All right, so starting with House Zathmir, we will roll up. They get a 1, so they will play face down here. Then myself, I have options. I don't know where their noble is, so I think I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to play this face down here. All right, we'll do for House Drakai. They get a 6, so they will go face up here. We will do House Zathmir, who gets a 1. They can't go face down, so they'll play face up. And then me, wish there was a noble out. I really wanted to deploy my assassin. I think I'm going... I don't like this additional point, so I'm going to play this face up here, just on the chance that maybe one of them is trying to do their noble there. So that's going to mean that this will do nothing on this area. So that'll take care of that. Then we will move on to Drakai. They get a 6, so they will play face up here. There's their noble. That'll be interesting. House Zathmir is a 1. They can't play there. They get a 1 again. They get a 6. Interesting. Everyone's going face up. Ambush. Interesting. Glad I'm not part of that mess. And then... so he's currently trying. I am going to make it so that nobles cannot go there. All right. So now House Drakai will do odd face down, even face up. We get an even, so they play face up. They play Zathmir's commander. Same rules for Zathmir. They get an even, so they play face up. I have my I'm going to put mine face down, and we'll say that Drakai, it doesn't matter. They just place there. All right, so let's flip them over and see what we got. Interesting round. All right, so we'll reorder these. We have a 0, 4, 6, 12, 14. All right, so we have a Royal Guard. That's protection, doesn't do anything just yet. We have the Ambassador, if they have the highest influence. Well, they have 2, which they do have because they're the only person with any presence. So the blue player will score 3 victory points. Then the Assassin here, which does nothing. Then we have here where, let's see, highest strength on this planet may move 1 control token, of which there are no control tokens, so nothing would happen. And then this one is the noble, but there was no noble scoring. So that's going to finish Gadu Hen. Oh, wait, actually, doesn't matter because both of these events are negated. So, but it didn't matter because we didn't do anything. The Elder just adds. The Royal just adds and protects. We have an Assassin. But there are no nobles here. We have another Assassin, no nobles here. And we have a Commander. So the blue has has 4. So they have 4 strength to my 3 to 1. So they will in fact score 2 victory points. And then they get to place a control token. So they will put a control token. We have our first control token. And that will finish out Vidrid. Looking at Wu Jin, we have a protect. Here, whoever has the most strength may assassinate. Well, the House Drakai has the most, but there is no one for their assassinate. Nobles cannot score, therefore this does not score. And then the Commander, they do have the most strength here, so they will score 1 victory point. And then they will place 1 control token on this planet. Okay, so that's going to finish off that round. And at the end of round 2, we have House Ashnon, which is myself, and House Drakai at 4, and House Zathmir at 5. I don't think I actually scored anything that round, and I still have no control tokens. So we will set up for the next round. I'm going to move this token down and shuffle these up. Okay, so now we're set up, and I'm going to speed along a little here for time purposes, but I will show you what I got in my first draft. So I think I'm just going to immediately take my Assassin and pass on. From here, I'm going to do the rest of my draft, and I'll just come in to show you what I took at the end. Okay, so I finished that draft out. What I got in mine were, I got my Royal Guard, I got House Drakai's Noble, I got the Ambush Event, and I got my Assassin. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to start out by playing their Noble face down here. And we'll roll for House Drakai. They get a 3, which puts them face down. We'll roll for Zathmir. They get a 1, putting them face down here. That changes things a bit for me. But I'm still going to play my Assassin. Drakai gets a 3, putting them face down here. Zathmir gets a 2, putting them face up here. And then I am going to play my Royal Guard here, face up. Just letting them know what's up. Alright, so House Drakai gets a 5. They will play face down here. House Zathmir gets a 4, putting them face up here. And then I am going to play this face down here. We'll do this one to here or here face up, odd, even. They get a 3, so they will go face up here, thus making them go face up here. All right, so let's flip over our cards and see how we're sitting as far as ordering goes. So we've got some 0s. We've got a 6, 7, 10. All right, so that's going to be our order. And now we'll resolve. We have an Elder, does nothing but add points. Nobles cannot score on this planet. Bad news. Well, actually, again, this one, do not resolve. So this does not happen. Assassin, they can assassinate. I can assassinate a noble, of which I am going to happily do. I'm going to assassinate this noble. Now, if they had their protect, they could discard their Royal Guard to protect their noble. However, they don't, so I'm going to assassinate this person here, which means they won't be able to score. That's going to cause them a casualty. That's also going to give me a victory point. And then come down to their commander. Now they do have the most on here for that, so they will score 1 victory point. So I wasn't able to stop that. And they do get to place a control token. Moving to the next line, we have an Elder, we have a Royal Guard, we have an Ambassador. They score, let's see, they have 2, 4. They do have the most, so they will score 3 victory points. An Assassin here, there are no nobles to assassinate. And then the noble that scores this would score points, but no noble did. Over here, we have Royal Guard, we have Ambush. Person who has highest strength may assassinate. I have 2, and he has 2, so it's a tie. It's unfriendly ties, nothing happens. The Ambassador here, if he has the most influence, of which he does, so he will score 3 victory points. I am falling behind. Then we have an Assassin, there's no one to do. And then the person with the most strength may move 1 control token on another planet to this planet and score a victory point. And you know what? He's going to do it because the most... Oh, did we tie? We tie. So nothing happens. If the blue person had been able to do it, he would have, because there's more victory points to here. He would have got a net of an additional, hopefully trying to do this, but he would have scored an instant point. But it's not going to happen because it is a tie, so we will set up for the next round, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm set up for the 4th round's draft. I'm just going to do it and be right back and show you what I got. Okay, so we have completed the draft. I got House Drakai's Assassin. I got the Planetary Siege. Nobles cannot score on this planet. I got my Assassin and my Noble. So we will start with House Drakai and we will roll up and see what they do. They get a 6, so they will go face up over here. That is already looking good for them. House Zathmir gets a 1. They will be playing face down to here. And then I wish that there was a noble out there. I think what I'm going to do, because I won't be able to protect my noble, so I think I'm going to play face down here. Now, do I want to do that? Yep, I'm going to try. No, because I won't be able to do it because of the ambassador. Well, no, I will, because I'll have the as long as no one else plays a noble there. So we'll do House Drakai. Because the noble scores, the only reason a noble wouldn't score is if another noble was there, and then those points would happen. So a 2 means they're going to play face up here, or they got assassinated. House Zathmir is going to do a 5, putting them face down here. And then I am going to make... Where did I play my noble? Oh, I played it here. So I'm going to make nobles not score over here. House Drakai gets a 1, so he's playing face down here. House Zathmir gets a 2, he's playing face up here. That's his Royal Guard. And then, which we're playing with people, doing this would make me think that he had his noble in there, but he probably doesn't. So I'm going to play House Drakai's Assassin into this line. And then we'll do odd or even, odds face down. Get a 1, so he will go face down, face up, and face up. All right, so we'll flip over and resolve. All right, so let's resolve. We have Royal Guard, protect, does nothing. Royal Guard, protect. Then we have an ambassador. If they have the most influence, we'll score 3 points. We currently have 2. They have 2 and they have 1, but we're tied, so I get nothing. That didn't work out for me. I should have paid a little more attention. I forgot about this, honestly. Assassin, they can assassinate a noble. There is no noble. Commander, the blue does have 3 wow, the blue actually has 6 strength, so he will score 2 victory points and place a control token. Moving down this line, whoever has the most strength may assassinate. Of which is me, but it's me, and I'm going to assassinate this one right here, thus causing House Drakai a casualty. Then me, assassinate a noble. There is no noble from another faction, so nothing happens. My noble will score victory points, nothing to stop me now. This worked out really well, actually, so I'll get 4 victory points, so I'll move to 9. And then my commander has the most strength, so I will score another victory point, and I will score another victory point, and then I will place a control token. All right, looking in this one, we have an elder. Nobles cannot score, so we already know that this isn't going to happen. We have an assassin, which means it's not going to happen again, because the House Drakai is going to assassinate this noble, and there's nothing they can do about it. So that means that this person is going to be out. Ooh, that is brutal, too. Because that means that they're going to take a hit, and their assassin gets 3 victory points. These cards are asymmetrical in nature, and you don't really start to see it until you start to play through. So they're going to get 3 points. So they're going to move up to 11. And then the commander, they obviously do have the most strength, so they're going to score another victory point, and they're going to get to place a control token. All right, so that's going to finish that round out, and we're inching closer. So I will reset and show you the draft as it is ended. And we are now at the end of the draft. I've received my Royal Guard, my Ambassador, the Ambush, and the House Zathmir's Royal Guard. I'm going to move this down because I know it's Zathmir's turn and I forgot to move that, and we will move on. So Zathmir will roll up. They get a 3, putting a face down card here. For me, I kind of want to play face down here with my Ambassador. We'll roll for Drakai. They get a 5. They will also be playing face down. That makes me nervous. Zathmir gets a 4. They will play face up. Their assassin. I'm going to play his Royal Guard here, because I think he's going to take this anyway, so I don't want to risk putting it into another column. House Drakai rolls a 6, so they will play face up here. That, I'm hoping that they don't go into that line. They just messed me up because they're playing, well, yep, they're playing face up here. Oh, this is the worst. So I really wanted to get my Royal Guard into here. Well, actually, no, doesn't matter now to me. Okay, so man, that was brutal for me. I'm going to play my Royal Guard here. That hurt. Seeing the assassin and my noble, that hurt. All right, House Drakai gets a 4. He's going to play face up into this row. And then he will go face up or face down. Odd, even. It's an even, so he'll play face up. I will play face down, and he will play face up. All right, so real quick, let me do the reorder, and I'll show you at the end. Okay, so here is going to be the order as we have it. We got a Royal Guard that just protects, does nothing. We have a Treachery that gets nothing. Highest may assassinate. Now, Drakai has 2. The blue player, Zathmir, has 1, and I have 2, so we're tied, so no good there. And then Royal Guard protects, and then Commander, if the blue has the highest thing, which blue does not, so nothing happens in that row. Well, actually, this wouldn't have happened again. We keep forgetting about that. This wouldn't have happened anyway. But regardless, nothing happened in that row because of this. All right, so the next row, Elder, Protect, Ambassador. Blue has 2, 3. So blue will get that. So blue will get 3 victory points, moving them to 13. Then here they can assassinate a noble, of which they could assassinate this Drakai because they don't have their person. So they will assassinate this person, thus causing a casualty and scoring them 1 victory point. And then nothing else for that. Coming over here, nobles cannot score. So, you know. Remember, I didn't put this card here, so it wasn't going to matter. But nobles cannot score, so we'll remember that. This ambassador, I have 2, and then I have 3. I have the most, so I will be able to score my ambassador. So I'll get 3 points for that, moving me to 13. The assassinate here, Drakai is clearly going to assassinate my noble. So that will kill that, cause me to have this, and they will gain 3 victory points for Drakai, moving them to 15. And then we have a commander for them. He does have the most. Yep. So he will get 1 victory point for that and place a control token on that planet. All right, so that's going to end out that round. I will reset up and you will rejoin me after the draft. Okay, here we are after the draft. Here's what I received. I got House Zathmir's Royal Guard, the ambush card. I got my Elder and my Noble. And it's going to start with me. I am going to deploy my Noble. They have their nobles here. Wish I'd grabbed one of their assassinates. I think I'm going to deploy my noble here, face down. All right, so House Drakai will roll. They get a 5, so they will place face down here. I just want him to stay out of this column. House Zathmir gets a 3, meaning he'll go face down here. That's good news for me because I'm going to put my Elder face down here. House Drakai gets a 1, but he has to go face up. And I see an assassin. That's bad for me because it's his assassin. House Zathmir. It's a 6, so he will go face up over here. I'm not playing that here. I'm going to put this. I'm going to put House Zathmir's Royal Guard here. House Drakai will roll a 5, putting him face down, but he can't, so he'll go face up here. I wish he had went here. Oh, no, wouldn't be any good. So House Zathmir rolls, gets a 5, can't go there. Rolls a 1, has to go face up. I will play my card face up here. Actually, it doesn't matter. These are just going to go in like this. All right, so I will flip these over, reorder, and be right back. Okay, so this is going to be our order. We'll go down the row, remembering that events don't happen, but nothing to do. Elder just adds points for me, well, influence. This one here, if he has the highest influence. I have 3, 4, so I have the highest, so this will not score. This one here, they can assassinate a noble, and of course he's going to assassinate my noble, and there's nothing I can do about it. So that means that House Drakai is going to score 3 points, because that's what it says, and send me down by 1 and kill my noble. Then by that sense, they are now going to score the planet, so they are going to get another 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. That means this is the final round of the game. So, looking here, nobles cannot score on this planet, so that's good. The person with the highest may assassinate, which is going to be Drakai. Man, Drakai was brutal for a random dice roll player. So, Drakai can assassinate one of them. Not sure. Hell, he would subdue me because nobles can't score, so I get picked on again. Alright, I'm bad at this for playing against not real people. So that will do that. I will lose that. Then this noble can't score. And then if he has the highest strength, of which he does, he will score 1 victory point and place a control token. Alright, coming down this line, we have an elder, we have a royal guard, we have a royal guard, we have an assassin. So let's see, there's no one to assassinate because there's no other nobles, so nothing happens there. And then the person with the highest strength may move 1 control token from another planet to this one and score. Now this might actually be something they want to do because they do have the highest strength. Because while they're not going to be able to take this planet, these are tied up. So they at least could get a victory point out of it. So I think he is going to go ahead and just move this one to here. Well, but then he's going to give more points to this person. Actually, if he pulls from here, that will leave this as a tie. So we'll get that, and he'll get an additional point for this. And that's going to complete out that. So now we're going to do final scoring. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check each of the planets for majority. Again, ties are not friendly in this game. So looking here, we have a tie. Nobody scores. Here, we have a tie. No one scores. Here, we have a clear majority by House Drakai. So House Drakai is going to score 5 victory points, moving them to 28. Next, each person is going to get points for their control tokens they have. So House Drakai is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. House Zathmir is going to gain 2. And then I am going to score 1. Now we're going to deduct points for casualties that we took in the game. House Drakai is going to lose 3 points. So 1, 2, and then back here to 3. House Zathmir is going to lose 2. And I am going to lose 3. And that's going to be the final score, with House Drakai having 30 points, House Zathmir having 15 points, and me, House Ashnon, having, 11 points. Wow, so I lost to a dice roll. Now, part of that has to do with the fact that, I couldn't really read players at the table, but also just made some bad decisions. But I hope that this has given you an idea of how this game plays, and you now know how the rules work. I do enjoy this game, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching it played, and I look forward to seeing you folks next time.